Yo, what up, sports fans? Back for another week of Sports Tube. So look, I'm debuting something new this week. A little rundown kind of over here to help you guys keep up with the show. I know each week I seemingly ramble on about sports shit and it's hard to know where I'm going to go next. So hopefully this helps you guys. This rundown kind of over here is brought to you in part by Just Ask Mo. Man, I hit up my boy Just Ask Mo. He's doing great work. Good quality handmade wooden crafts, furniture needs, your welding needs. Man, he's building handmade quality cornhole boards. Fellas, y'all hit him up for these cornhole boards in the summertime. Y'all get y'all cornhole on with your buddies in the backyard. The game, the beanbag game. What y'all doing in the comfort of your back home is y'all business. Just don't let me know. So anyway, let's get into the top news of the week in a segment I'm calling Going In. Going In is a segment in which I go into the top news of the sports week and in-depth analysis. Of course, this week is Tony Romo news. So let's jump into that. Did Tony Romo screw over the Texans? Of course, it seemed like that was going to be a match made in heaven. Dak Prescott came in and took Tony Romo's job. Texans had a huge gaping fucking hole at the quarterback position after they unloaded the bad Brock Osweiler deal. Didn't happen. Look, I was an advocate for Tony Romo coming to this team. I'm on record as saying that only because he would have been a veteran guy to help bridge the gap between him and the inevitable rookie quarterback we were going to draft this year in this year's draft class. I talked to a lot of you guys and a lot of my buddies. I can see both sides of the argument on why we would and wouldn't want to bring in Tony Romo. If you were a Tony Romo advocate, you're basically operating on this huge optimistic chance that he's going to stay healthy for a 16-game season when this guy's only played 5 games in the last 2 seasons. He's going to somehow go to the playoffs, get past the first round, which he's never done in his entire career, and get us to a Super Bowl. Look, it most likely wasn't going to happen, so I'm not really tripping too hard that we didn't end up with Tony Romo. It is what it is. But in his news conference, he elected to tell us that if he wasn't going to retire, then the Texans would have been his first choice, and he would have been a Texan. Thank you for that useless fucking information, Tony. Whatever. He also told us that he's going to be joining the CBS team, working for them as a commentator for the games, which... What the fuck, CBS? How do you know that this guy's going to be successful doing that job? He could be just as bad doing that shit as I am doing this. They just don't know. Like, he's not experienced with doing it. We'll see how that works out. The only good thing is he's replacing the terrible Phil Simms, so he can't be much worse. Also, during that press conference, did anyone hear him say that he's actually retiring? I never heard him say those words. So the only thing I can assume is that he's operating on the off chance that he could be the Cowboys' savior next year if Dak Prescott gets hurt, which I'm sure he's probably hoping for. Somebody needs to go check Tony Romo's closet for a fucking voodoo doll of Dak Prescott where he's somewhere sitting there with pin needles just sticking the shit out of it, hoping that he gets hurt. Like, there needs to be 24-hour surveillance of Dak Prescott under his bed where Tony Romo's probably hiding to jump out and stab this nigga in his sleep. Man, but... no one's happier about this Tony Romo news than Tom Savage. Man, a lot of looking in on Tom Savage as soon as he heard that Tony Romo was going to retire. Like, he's extremely happy he finally gets his chance to show that he could be a quality NFL quarterback. He's got a full offseason, full OTAs to work with the receivers. That's if we don't bring in another veteran, which I doubt that they will because there's nobody good out there. But let's jump into my Astros, man. My Astros have started out 2-0 in the season. We had the white James Harden up on the mound Monday night, and he got the start. He got the win, looking like the old 2015 Dallas Keuchel doing his thing. Not only did he pitch well, but he played great defense, man. He got 2 seemingly perfectly hit bunts down the third baseline and turned them into outs, plus he turned a double play. Lance McCullers got the start Tuesday night. He did his thing. He didn't get any help from the fucking defense, but he still got the win. Look, the Astros are on the trajectory to win 162 games. Y'all watch out for my boys. That's all I got to say, man. They getting it done this year. Best team in the MLB. Let's get into the NBA. James Harden did not play against the Phoenix Suns the other night because of the flu. Go on, bro. Man, we all know you got wrist issues, man. James Harden is a guy that, like, has been in the public for the last few weeks talking about, like, oh, man, I don't believe in rest, man. Fuck that. Rest is for the weak, blah, blah, blah. I'm a real nigga. Now, all of a sudden, like, he has to rest. Dog, look, it's all good, James. Man, if you got to rest, you got to rest. If you injured, we need you to be available for the playoffs, man. It's nothing that makes you weak by just getting a little rest, man. We already cemented in the 3rd spot in the West. Not going nowhere. We're not moving up. We're not moving down. Rest it up. Be healthy for the playoffs. It's all good. The only thing Harden not playing hurts is his MVP chances, which, of course, if he's not playing, Russell Westbrook is still out there playing, balling, getting all these triple-doubles and shit like that. And Harden obviously seems to be concerned about getting the MVP, which I still think he can actually win the MVP based on the fact that his team is better. He makes his teammates better because he's that type of player. I still think Harden can win the MVP. What do y'all think? Y'all hit me up. Let me know. Somebody that probably helped James Harden's injury when we played them the other night was Warriors gorilla Draymond Green. Look, Draymond Green's a nigga. You got black people, then you got niggas. And niggas are the worst. I understand, like, some teams need that one guy that's just a pest, that just gets under people's skin, blah, blah, blah. For us, for the Houston Rockets, that's obviously Patrick Beverly. But Draymond Green just takes the shit to a whole nother niggerish level, which I just hate this dude. But for whatever reason, you got to respect him, man. Like, night in, night out, that's his job, to just get on your fucking nerves. And he does it good. So, whatever. Then, last but not least, we got Gronk. And Gronk gonna be Gronk, man. Gronk's just a big, lovable idiot, which that's just who he is, man. Recently, he was spotted at WrestleMania where he got into a conflict with one of the wrestlers and ended up climbing into the ring. The only thing I don't like about this is that Gronk strikes me as a guy that don't realize that wrestling is fake. It's like, I wouldn't want to be the wrestler in there and see Gronk coming at me and be like, hey, bro, it's fake. It's just a skit. You know that, right? And then you got Gronk being himself and fucking spike you all over the ring. So, hey, man, it is what it is. But anyway, that's our show for this week, guys. Y'all hit up my boy Just Ask Mo, man. Y'all hit him up. Telephone number listed here. As always, peace and love. Peace.